Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I want to talk about something I wanted to make a video on for a while, but I guess I've been waiting for a good way to kind of express these things because I haven't really told stuff like this to a wider audience before on my channel yet, but whatever, here goes. So many of you might know about an up-and-coming thing or a practice, we'll call it, called meditation, right? So meditation is something that you'll see a lot of fitness influencers or self-improvement influencers on YouTube talk about. It's something that's generally considered a good thing. Most people, when you think about, okay, this guy meditates, usually they kind of perceive it as a good thing, and they think it leads to greater peace and clarity of mind and calmness and stuff like that, all of which is correct. And maybe a few of you are out there in the audience who don't really care, or who are like, yeah, this meditation doesn't really work or whatever. And if you're one of those people, then I'm sorry, but it's that's probably a lie. It does. It's a very real thing. Just in the way where like going to the gym and building your body, or going to the gym and, well, not just the gym, sports, swimming, running, yoga, any kind of consistent physical activity or exercise, the way that positively helps the mind, because it helps you like calm yourself down, and it helps you like it gives you a time in the day where you get out of your thinking mind and you're not really concerned about what you have to do in the day anymore, and it just becomes your own space where you can kind of like settle into your senses and really just put your emotional intelligence at the seat, at the head seat of the table, and you can kind of like step back a little bit from all the noise that's happening in your life, and it's a great way to relieve stress, and it brings many positive benefits, which I'm sure many of you know. So eating clean, exercising, these are like really good things for you. But in this video, I kind of want to shine a spotlight on meditation for certain reasons. I think meditation has the potential to help, well, basically help everyone, but I'm not saying that everyone needs to meditate, right? I do it because I choose to do it, because I like to do it. I think it's good, and um, I it's fun. Like, I like life better when I do it. It's kind of like why you work out. You like life better when you do it. You're more fit, you're more active, you're more energetic, you're more confident, all those kind of things. And I just like everything better when I do it. I feel more calm. I make better choices. I'm less overcome by emotion, stuff like that. I think it definitely helps me in many ways, many ways, and I like to do it. It's as simple as that. I choose to do it. But I'm gonna explain to you guys why in this video meditation is a good thing, and why you should be doing it, and why it could be potentially a huge game changer for you if you think you are suffering from some kind of like mental illness, like depression, or some other kind of like anxiety, or like some other kind of like problem that you're struggling with, right? So essentially, what meditation does is it has you focus. On a repeating object, right? So what I mean by that is it's what people call the anchor. So it's kind of like, it could be your breath, it could be a mantra that you're chanting, it could be like counting beads on a rosary or something like that. It could be one of many things, but essentially it's you paying your utmost attention to kind of like a focus or an anchor, And every time you notice yourself get distracted by thoughts, you kind of like acknowledge the thoughts and then let them go. And in doing so, you bring your attention back to the object of focus, and you don't really become overcome by the thought. Um, a lot of the time, I think we're in these like trains of thought. We're like thinking about something, and we don't even know the fact that we're thinking about that thing. It's like kind of like caught up into it until like 5 minutes or 10 minutes later, we like snap out of it, and we're like, okay, whoa, I was like doing this, and suddenly like my mind went off into a tangent, and began thinking about that, right? So stuff like that is gonna happen like less and less as you continue to meditate, and you're gonna find yourself being able to attain long periods of focus on the work that you're doing, and also achieve. Um, Also, you're gonna find yourself growing comfortable sitting alone for long periods of time. Many of you may, if I told you to like put your phone down, turn off your phone, put your phone down, and do absolutely nothing for the next 10 minutes, right? A lot of you might just start to feel uncomfortable from the lack of like stimulation. You're gonna you're gonna start becoming extremely uncomfortable because you have nothing to do. There's no music to listen to. There's no video to watch. There's no one to text. You're gonna start feeling like what do I do? And you're gonna find it extremely hard to sit still. Either that, or your mind's just gonna go off on a tangent. You're gonna like start daydreaming about something, right? But it's extremely hard to like stay focused for that long period of a time unless you've like trained yourself to do so. You know what I mean? Um, if you're a person who plays cricket averagely or like once every couple of months or occasionally, you can't expect to like go onto a field and perform like a star cricketer or like some famous person, or like a sports person, right? You're obviously going to be less skilled than that. So like meditation is a skill just like any other skill that you have in life. It's kind of like a workout for your mind. um, the mind and the body are very extremely different in the way you approach the two things in terms of training them. That's a discussion for another time. I feel like I'm going to go off on a tangent if I start talking about that. But training the body is much like training any other, trying to achieve any other kind of thing in your life. Like you look for milestones, and you look for like, hey, I finally put on this amount of muscle, or hey, I finally lost this amount of weight, or something of that sort. Just like if you're trying to crack an exam or like land a job, or kind of like level up one particular area of your life, you probably have particular results that you want, and you will know when you have them, right? So it's kind of like about obtaining something, getting something, whereas training the mind is more about like letting go of the storylines and all the stuff that you've like built up in your head over the years, um, over the course of your life, or whatever. And it's more about like just bringing your attention back to the present moment, like right here, right now, like right here, you watching this video and listening to me, and just focusing on the present moment and giving the present moment your full attention. And then that's just it. At one point you realize that life is essentially just one moment. Like it's this moment. Like this moment is all we have, and it is probably all we will ever have, and everything else is just a thought. I mean, I'm not saying you can't think about the past or reflect on the past, or you can't make plans for the future, but I'm saying living in the past thinking that, hey, back in those days things were so great and right now sucks, or thinking about a future and thinking that, hey, maybe right now sucks, or maybe the future I'm gonna go is like so great, and all of that stuff, it's gonna be different. Um, you like thinking about like that kind of stuff, it doesn't really help, because you're just kind of like distracting yourself, and you're like taking yourself away from the present moment, and you're missing out on like all of the opportunities and all the things you could have done, and all the ideas that you could have had, and everything all the stuff that you could have done right here, right now, and you just end up living in either the past or the future, and just wasting time eventually because nothing good comes from it. Drop a like on this video if you can relate. But yeah, training the mind is essentially about letting go of storylines and stuff like that, and it's more about just bringing your attention back to whatever it is that you're doing, and that's basically it. It sounds extremely simple, but there's a reason that I'm making this video, and that's not just to talk about this or like what is meditation. You could have probably Googled this or watched another YouTube video about it or whatever, but there's a reason I'm making this video, and that is, I believe that meditation, and not just meditation, but an approach to looking at the mind, or an approach to quote-unquote training the mind, or just training the mind, is something that we've never really been taught as kids in school, or as teenagers in college, or like whatever. It's something that no one really told us. For example, if you've had like a really, really bad heartbreak, you might find yourself really cold towards the next person who comes into a relationship in your life. Or these are just examples. If you've had like a really nasty experience with a girl, talking to the guys here watching the video, you might start to hate girls after that experience for an amount of time. These experiences are natural and completely normal, but they don't really, I think, show you the full picture, or it has you like doing a lot of trial and error, trying to find out what to do in life, or like how to orient your mind such that you're like healthy and happy, right? If the one thing we can all agree on in life is that our main aim is to be content and happy and feel like our life is sorted and we have everything that we want, then that's the thing that we're all striving for, and through whatever means that we can, we kind of want to get to that point. So now the thing becomes, no one really taught you how to be happy, I think, right? Most of our lives we were told by our elders and seniors and people older than us that and our parents to some extent, that we should be chasing money, and we should be trying to achieve success and all that stuff, trying to achieve like the best paying job and all that stuff, the best paying career, stuff like that. And that's not necessarily wrong. Like, you're gonna need a certain degree of money to be happy in your life, and success to some degree does equal social status, so that is definitely true. But you could argue the fact that having a huge amount of money might not necessarily make you happy. Happiness comes from purpose, stuff like purpose, doing something that you like, spending time with people you love, or just being yourself, listening to yourself, and doing something that like you really enjoy. And it's a skill, or it's something that I think everybody has inside them. That feeling of contentment, or that feeling of happiness, is not dependent upon any external factors. There's a class of people called ascetics, who basically renounce all material possessions and then go onto the mountains and become monks, because they want to basically prove to people that they can be happy and content without any material possessions, which is what arguably the rest of all of us are striving for in our lives. So you could say that if you wanted clarity, or a little bit of a push into how to maybe look at life in a better way, or maybe just find your purpose. I'm not saying meditation is going to like give you your purpose. You all probably already know what your purpose is. You just like your mind is might be it probably is like it might be like too clouded to like even see it. Once you remove a lot of that clutter and noise from your mind, what you really like to do and what you really want to do in life will become much obvious and like much more clearer. So I think it has tremendous potential in that. But also, if you're someone who is suffering from extremely high amounts of stress, or you're losing sleep at night, or you feel like your job is so hard that you can't keep up and it's just taking a toll on your mental health, or something along those lines, you might want to give meditation a try. There's a good chance, I think, that you might receive benefits from it. And even if it's not something along those lines, even if like um, you've lost a loved one, or there's like some kind of crisis going on in your life, and something completely unexpected has happened that has like brought your mind into a state of turmoil, and like you don't know what to do, or like you just feel bad or like depressed or something, and you just like you're struggling, right, trying to get that thing out, but and you want like some kind of guidance or help, right? I think, and well, I'm gonna say here's when I think meditation comes into the play and really helps a lot. But it's not just meditation. Meditation is simply like the act of doing the thing, that's the practice. But I'm gonna give a huge shout out to an app called Headspace, which I use for meditation. I think many others do as well. I think Headspace and Calm are the two biggest apps right now for meditation. They're like really, really good. It's been founded by a guy called Andy Pudikombe. So when I began, I think he was the only one making the voice, like the recordings. But now they're like a team of 4 or 5 people, all making the recordings. So if you want to like have someone else do the voiceover for the same track, you can. It's have like a diverse team of people, which is like pretty cool. Um, the thing is that the app doesn't just teach you how to meditate. They have courses on like stress, um, anxiety, stuff like depression, and not just like these basic things or like these broad areas, but stuff like how to manage your money, what to do when you're feeling overwhelmed, how to manage your mental health, and if you're in chronic pain. If you're in pain all the time, it's pretty likely that you're going to be cranky all the time, right? No one likes a cranky person. How to deal with that if you're in a chronic pain all the time? How to deal with when someone passes away, maybe a family member or a loved one. If you're in grief, what do you do about that? Um, or what happens if like you have to like deliver a performance? What if you're a sports person and you want to like go and perform in front of like hundreds and like millions of people, and you have like performance anxiety or something, or well, it doesn't even have to be like performance anxiety, but what if like you're an athlete who's like really really trying to like take his game to the next level and really like be better at his craft and at his sport, and sometimes like attaining a state of flow or something of that sort while playing your game or while doing your work might help in that, because it helps you attain like a period of like deep focus and really helps you with your job, and like so much more. It could be, what if you're in school? What if you need to like focus on studies, and what if you're like struggling to pay attention to class, stuff like that, like for kids, or what if something, what if you're like a victim of like injustice? What if like something's like really bad that's happened to you, and you think that that's something that um that's been that's wrong, and it's like unjust that's happened to you, and you're like angry for that reason, or you have no one to talk to or no one to kind of reach out to or go for help because you think that nobody else has gone through that exact same thing, which is a lie, by the way. They're like, no matter what your mental condition is, there's probably like 100,000 people scattered throughout the entire world who feel exactly the way that you do, and probably exactly at the same time at this second. So that's just the way the world works. You're never actually alone. Just loads of people there. You just think that you're alone, but you're actually not. It's something you need to understand. But yeah, there's like these lots of these various aspects and facets are there where people will talk to you. Well, these are like recordings, but people will talk to you, and it's not just some kind of like shallow recording where people tell you that it's okay, but it's more of a person who's gone through that thing tell you what it's like. So if you're struggling with something in particular and you want help with it, and you go to one of these courses, the recordings that you will hear are essentially extremely high quality. So the person who's talking, so they're like spread over days. It's like tracks, like stage 1, 2, 3. Each one has like maybe say 10 days, and each day you're supposed to like do the meditation for like 20 or 10 or 20 minutes, and then each of those tracks will be something that like you're gonna feel like the person who's talking to you through the recording knows exactly what you're going through. So the emotion that you're struggling with has been kind of the therapy or whatever it is that you want, the course for that, or like the help that you need or the guidance has been given to you by someone who knows exactly what you're going through, right? So it's extremely effective and it's potent, and it teaches you a lot of stuff, because all the time, like, we don't even know how to deal with these things, because it's the first time in our life that we have been faced with like such a situation or like something of that sort, and we're like struggling with these things. And I think a big problem that at least us Indians, a big problem that we face is the fact that we don't really talk about mental health. For I think the majority of Indians, if you're watching this video or in the US, maybe it's different, but for the majority of Indians in India, I think mental health is still considered like a myth to many people, or maybe I wouldn't say it's considered like taboo, but no one really talks about this stuff. It's kind of, people just like pretend like they're okay and trying to go on living their lives, and you might be struggling with something deep down inside which like no one even knows of, right? So my point is that like help definitely exists, and it's easily accessible and it's very cheap. And the point is, this is like kind of like therapy, but extremely high quality therapy at your fingertips through your phone in an app. And you don't have to go to a therapist and be uncomfortable about going to see the person, or um, feel bad about telling your family members that you have like a mental problem or whatever. If there's like a stigma around that, hopefully there isn't, but if there is a stigma around that, and you feel like that's something that you're struggling with, or that's something that you need help with, um, you can easily like download Headspace or download like one of these apps and like just get like this guidance or like, this therapy for extremely cheap. I think I pay like, how much do I pay for Headspace? I don't even know. I think I pay like, well, whatever it is, it's like extremely cheap, even in rupees. I'm not even talking dollars. Like even in rupees, it's extremely cheap. So I chose to sign up. It's been like, I think the best thing I've ever done, or one of the best things, easily, maybe the best thing I've ever done. It's a fantastic choice. Meditation has the potential to like completely change your life. Once again, I'm not saying that everyone should meditate, but what I'm trying to say is, if you're someone who's struggling with something and you need help, help does exist. Just go on to Headspace, try out the beginner meditation. It'll pop up for you automatically, but the beginning meditation sessions teach you how to sit still for longer periods of time, and they're designed for people who have no experience meditating and stuff like that. So they're going to start from like extremely low times of like 3 minutes, 5 minutes to 10 minutes and so on and so forth, and kind of like train you and get you into that habit of practicing and get you into that like kind of mindset and like train that skill. And then they're gonna, you can kind of go to these sessions or these specialized courses where there's like a course on stress, there's a course on like I don't know, being overwhelmed, or a course on something else, and a course on like personal loss and grief and other struggles and anger and whatnot. So just choose what you want, and it's like extremely high quality stuff that you can just kind of go and make use of. And yeah, I think it's great. This video is not sponsored by Headspace in any way, but I feel like their product is so good that I have to make this video. I believe that a lot of life is just about receiving guidance about the right thing at the right time, and if we have that guidance, our potential to live life, or our potential for happiness might dramatically increase, and we might feel a lot better about the same thing. We might be happier overall. I just think that a lot of people don't know that like help exists, or that maybe it's this easily accessible. Just kind of want to like shine a spotlight on Headspace and on meditation, and well, basically on Headspace, and just tell you that if you're struggling with something, and it's like a mental kind of thing, it's like a mental illness, or just something that you're trying to cope with, and it's like really hard for you, meditation is most likely going to help, and Headspace is a fantastic place to start. I'll leave a link in the description about downloading the app on Android or iOS, or there's even a website version of the same thing, I think. But yeah, that's been it. Hope you enjoyed this video. It was a little bit of a different one, but I think that I 100% had to make this video, because I think meditation and just Headspace and this kind of like therapy in times of crisis and stuff like that has incredible potential to make lives better. What you will realize through your own personal experience over a course of years, and at the cost of much mental and physical health, if something really bad happens to you, all of that pain can be saved if someone just gives you the help that you need when you need it, right? I think that that is incredibly powerful, and it's a very valuable resource, and a lot of people may not know about it. I just wanted to kind of shine a spotlight and say, hey, you know what, if you're struggling, you don't have to go and see a therapist. You can if you want, but if you don't have the time, or if you're like, you're like awkward in that way, you don't want to go through all of that, just download Headspace. There are like courses on all that stuff. It's completely, most of it's free. I guess some parts are paid. You have to pay for it, but it's extremely cheap. It will help you get your life in order. At any rate, I think it does help you with like, meditation has loads of benefits. Just Google them. I'm not going to be the first YouTuber to like talk about this stuff, but yeah, that's been it. Hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Hey, bye for now. Have a great day, and take care of yourself. See ya.